Look at her, Richard. Look at how magnificent she is. The most deadly hunter ever created. The most deadly dinosaur ever created. And I did it because I'm a mad scientist.
You're mad. You are mad. How can you play God by creating a dinosaur? However, did you do this?
Oh, I just let her listen to this Pod Bros exclusive.
What's up, everybody? I'm Richard.
And I'm Sean.
And today, we are speaking the language of bromance. Sean, do you ever get tired of the rat race of life?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes. I mean, you kind of go day to day, same thing every day, you know, working for the man.
Working
9 to 5.
Working 9 to 5.
Working hard to make a living.
Oh my God, we both did that at the same time. Sean, this is supposed to be the language of bromance, and we are singing Dolly Parton. Which one of us know all the words?
She worked at the littlest whorehouse in Texas.
She did. I was more of a Jolene fan myself.
Mm.
I'm begging at you, please don't take my man.
I always love the fact that it took me probably 10, 15 years to realize that Fancy was about a mom selling a daughter off for prostitution. I was like, no, she became a singer, right? Well, she was singing something.
So that's your favorite Dolly Parton song? Is that what you're trying to say?
It's like, one day I'll be Fancy. Laura! He's talking about going off to some rich man again.
Why is he listening to Dolly Parton, Laura?
I threw that CD out weeks ago, Laura.
Well, Sean, I also tire of the rat race to the point where I get, and I don't know if you do this, but like I watch documentaries and I'll watch videos on people that are like living on. I watched this documentary on Netflix last night about minimalism.
I've heard there's a guy trying to sell me this years ago. Like 100 items is all you own.
Yeah. So, like, I sit there and I watch that and I'm like, like that doesn't sound half bad. You just don't have much, and instead of filling your life with stuff and worrying about money, then you're just doing all this shit. But see, okay, I had a slight problem with a couple things. Number one, when it came to this documentary, they did a little bit on people that buy or people that own very small spaces, like very small apartments and things like that. And then they have all this convertible furniture, like, oh, my bed comes out of the wall, and I have this. One bit of the wall that turns into a couch that also turns into a dining room table for 10 and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you see that a lot in small apartments in like big cities, and you see a lot of it like people will build these like campers that are built that way.
Right. Okay. My problem with that is I don't feel that truly. I mean, to each their own, and I feel like, of course, anybody that tries to embrace a more simpler existence to get some peace of mind in the constant rat race we have, like, I'm all for it. I guess the issue I have when it comes to that in particular is I don't know if you've looked at some of that stuff, but it's fucking expensive.
Yeah.
It's expensive as all hell. And so you have somebody that has like a very small apartment, but then they're spending like fuck tons of money on all this convertible furniture. And then I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, well, that's not really helping you in the, money department, because you're spending just as much money. You're just spending it on less stuff.
In
but you still have to
space,
but you still, it's not even the smaller space issue. It's the fact that you're spending gobs and gobs of money on all this convertible fucking furniture when you probably would spend just as much having a bigger house full of shit.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, a lot of that's kind of built from necessity, though, because when you're living in those big cities, that's you have that small apartment, but it costs 10 grand a month to live in.
Oh, I totally agree. And I mean, yeah, I see what you're saying, but for a lot of people, I mean, that's kind of a choice. That's a choice you make.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, I know, like I always thought it'd be really cool I've seen it on Reddit, I think, where somebody from one of those small trailers built like a small style not really an RV, but like a camper shell kind of thing.
Okay.
And it had stuff like that, like the table flipped into, the grill or something like that.
Right.
And I always thought that would be awesome. Like you build something like that and you just travel. You live out of your RV thing.
See, like that seems cool to me. Like if your house is on wheels and you're able to, and you can do that. But I don't know, like living in a small apartment, and let's say you spend $10,000-$15,000 on all this convertible furniture, which is probably, from what I've seen is kind of lowballing it, number one. And number two, you're spending all this money and you could have easily gotten a bigger place full of stuff. I thought the point of minimalism was to not rely so much on your paycheck to live a simpler existence. Spend money on less and have less and live more.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the whole idea behind it is you basically make just enough money to kind of cover necessities, I think, like food, a little bit of your shelter, but you're spending more of your time away from a career or a job.
Right.
Because you're not spending that excess money on stuff.
Right. And okay, so all that aside, I did like the documentary. I do very much flirt with the idea of, not relying so heavily on the man. Man. I put in air quotes. So I happened upon this story in the LA Times, and it got me thinking, like, like this guy's got it right. I mean, I just saw the headline. I haven't actually read the story, but I read the headline and I'm like, see, now this is a dude that knows what's up. All right. So I'm not going to give you the headline. We're just going to jump in. I'm going to tell you the story of Ciola Waddell Jr.
Oh, can we just call him Junior for short?
Sure,
Junior.
let's call him Junior. Okay. He has what may be the most eye-popping digs of any homeless man in Los Angeles. So already you're titillated, right?
Yeah, he's a homeless dude. He's got some nice digs.
He's
got
dude
the cardboard box that he brings the ladies over, and they're like,
oh no, Sean, we're going beyond the realm of cardboard box here, because like I said, I read the headline, but we're gonna get into this. Okay, so the LA Times, the online story here, has a video tour, but obviously can't go through video tour right now. But a video tour of his living room, sofa, and love seat, porcelain toilet, and zebra skin slipcovers has been viewed 1.4 million times on Facebook.
That's a YouTube hit. 1.4 million times. Dude's gone viral. He's not going to be homeless anymore.
But we're talking about... So, did you notice that he wasn't the... Okay, so you were like, oh, guy, cardboard box. Like, he's like, oh, nice digs. He must have painted the box. Like, that's what you're thinking, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Found some watercolors on the side of the road, and he's like, I'm going to do my box up right. And he goes and gets to painting, and no. We were just talking about his living room. And so...
leopard printed covers, like that's pretty legit.
Zebra skin slip covers on his I'm guessing on the porcelain toilet. So we were just talking about the living room. Notice we added the words living room are in here.
Yeah, I mean, he has an actual house, it sounds like. He's a homeless dude with a house. Like, where's this place located? Is it like a bunch of stacked up boxes?
No, it's not a bunch of... They're just giant boxes. Yeah. Like, what was in this? A shipping container? Kept it in the box.
Still has the Amazon smile on it.
It's the Batmobile's box.
2-day shipping. Can't beat it.
His fans make pilgrimages to the tent-lined strip beneath the 110 freeway near the LA Coliseum.
Oh, so he's got like stadium digs, basically.
Right. He's not far from the Coliseum, so I bet he charges for parking.
Yeah.
Makes some scratch on the side. He's like, park on my driveway. Like, driveway, this is the street. His fans make pilgrimages to the tent-lined strip beneath the 110 freeway near the Coliseum. He calls it Paradise Lane.
Because Hobo Lane was taken.
Because this isn't a street and I can call it what I please.
Ain't no boss of me. So he lives under a freeway. So, and he's got a working toilet, or do you think it's just like a toilet with a Folgers can that sits in the bottom of it?
You know, I'm not sure. But apparently people swing by to snicker and take selfies. So people drive by like, hey, it's the homeless guy we saw on YouTube.
You're homeless.
Or the homeless guy we saw on Facebook. Let's take a selfie. Ha ha, you're homeless. Nerd. Push him over.
That was just uncalled for.
You can't sit on my toilet. How about that? All right. His quarters are so spacious that another homeless man is paying him $25 a week to rent a tent, sandwiched between the, and this is in quotes, guest room and a third mattress and headboard.
So this dude basically, this guy's a landlord.
Yeah.
He got business.
He's a slumlord.
$25, that's how much was it? $25 a month or a day?
$25 a week.
A week? That's not a bad deal. You're talking about your minimalism.
Yeah.
Like, that's it right
$200
there.
a month for a tent under the freeway. You want to talk about, so you're talking about home prices in Los Angeles. This guy's paying $25 a week for a tent under the freeway.
That's $100 a month. Yeah, that's pretty pricey. I wonder what the like if it's got an air conditioning set up or he's got like a box fan or something for him. I wonder if does it have power?
It's Southern California, so it's I'm sure it gets hot, but you're under the freeway, so you get a little shade. You got the tent, so you don't have to worry about rain. You don't have to worry about cold at all. Maybe at night it gets down to say like 40s.
It's like, Junior, will you come hold me? It's cold. He's like, that's another $5 a week.
It's $30 a week for cuddles. Who wants cuddles?
It's like, hey, Steve, you want me to turn the heat on? Like, yeah, it's freezing tonight. It's like, all right, well, that's an extra $5 a month. Takes off his clothes and gets real close and starts holding him.
This is indoor heating.
If you get cold, I'll turn over.
If I get warm, I'll turn over. So $25 a week to rent a tent sandwiched between the, quote, guest room and a third mattress and headboard. Waddell also goes by Mr. Dice. That's there you go. Instead of calling him Junior, we can call him Mr. Dice.
Yeah, I like that a little better.
Yeah, he calls it his Airbnb. I wouldn't be surprised if he has this listed on Airbnb. And some people are like, $25 a week, that's not bad.
Hey babe, we're going to LA. We're going to that game at the Coliseum. Look, this place is like walking distance. $25 a week.
Location.
He's got 5 stars. Since it's got heating if we get cold.
Who rated him 5 stars? I don't know, this homeless guy. This other homeless guy.
Somebody goes by the name of Roger Rabbit. That's a weird name, but
He commented cuddles are the best.
Breezeway was great.
I got a view of the freeway. It had expansive views, open air floor plan.
Real LA living. That's what it said. Experience the real LA.
He said, this is the guy. I was walking by and saw the little sign for rent, said the tenant Anthony Garcia, 39. Is this the real Andy Garcia? Maybe it's the Andy Garcia.
Maybe. Yeah, it's Tony G. I don't know who that is, but that's what they should call
Anthony
him.
Garcia. He was in let He's been in a bunch of movies. He was in Ocean's 11. He played the guy, the casino owner, the guy that ran the Bellagio Hotel. And the only reason I know this is because I'm married. He was in the movie When a Man Loves a Woman with Meg Ryan, which was interesting because she was the drunk. It's a movie about like abusive relationships, but in this, she's the drunk.
Role reversals.
Yeah, and he's the guy that's like, why can't I just let me love you? I can fix you.
Maybe that's what Mr. Dice does. He has kind of like a therapy place. That's what the guest room's for.
Yeah, and then Tony Garcia shows up, and he's like, I was with George Clooney. I was in a movie.
I was in A Man Loves a Woman. Well, here a man loves a man, if you know what I mean.
$30 a week. But what delights Mr. Dice, instead of his name, I'm just gonna throw in Mr. Dice. But what delights Mr. Dice's followers does not sit well with the city, whose sanitation crews have twice dismantled and carried off his handiwork.
Oh, so he's rebuilt this a bunch of times.
He's built this like 3 times.
Like, listen, Mr. Dice, we're tired of all these shit-filled Folger cans.
Yeah, and you're not paying property taxes.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. Well, what's the property tax for this? $10 billion.
Per month.
So what he does to get money is he goes up on the highway, puts up some cones, and because he owns the freeway, he puts a toll there. This is Hobo Lane Toll.
Yeah, driving through my yard. You want to go down Paradise Lane, it's going to cost you. The road to paradise is not paved with good intentions. Paved with cold hard cash. Pay up.
That's how he made his first million.
But see, okay, so this guy has had his house dismantled and carried off. Now, see, it wasn't just like, like city workers show up and they're like, oh, your place is stupid, and then they kick it and it falls over.
Hey, let's roll Mr. Dice. Roll him over. Roll him. Oh, snake eyes again, Mr. Dice.
Yeah. Say goodbye to your toilet. Oh. So not only do they tear it down, they rip it all down, they carry it off so obviously he can't rebuild it.
Where's he getting all this shit again, though?
I don't know. That's what I'm wondering. I mean, I get, like a lot of people, it's a big city and a lot of people throw shit out, but fuck, man. Enough to rebuild apparently Paradise Lane twice over.
Well, I mean, the toilets themselves, I mean, I guess you probably, if you walk around the city long enough. But, I mean, even then, like, if you start building that up, like, it would take forever to get it.
Well, and also, like, who leaves the toilet on the side of the road? Or who, like, leaves... if you're at home and you're like, oh, I don't need this toilet anymore, you set it on the curb for the trash man to take away?
Yeah, probably.
Is that common? Is this something?
I don't know if it's common, but I bet if you knew a lot of nice neighborhoods in the area and you knew when their trash days were, you just walk up and down those streets. I mean, what else are you going to do? He's a homeless guy. He's probably got somebody at the place, watching it stay in the night or stay in the week. Like, hey, make sure the rats don't move in and Steve, the heroin addict, doesn't come over again.
Well, and also, you got to think like, okay, what if you're the guy? So let's say you're the guy paying $25 a week in rent. And then the cops show up and rip your house down.
This is a raid.
And then you're like, I paid for this.
I thought it was legit. It was listed on Airbnb. You're there with your girlfriend for the game. They take your tickets, so you can't even go see the football game. Worst honeymoon ever.
It was all fine. We went to the game and we came back and the cops ripped my house down.
That would be sad. I would just imagine Mr. Dice is sitting there with his hands and on his knees, all just watching as all of his stuff is getting taken away.
Yeah, carting his shit off.
Not my zebra prints. Can I? Oh,
Paradise Lane shall rise again.
Take me down to Paradise City.
Last week, workers removed a refrigerator with an quote, abundance of rotting food, explosive materials, and other unhealthy items.
Like meth.
Said Bureau of Sanitation spokesman Fiona Stern. Yeah, this is where I keep my dinner and the fireworks. You're supposed to store them together, right? I know, and like you open up my cabinet, and my cabinet is nothing but ramen noodles and C4.
Well, I wonder, like, what do you need a fridge for? Because a fridge that's not plugged in is kind of useless, except for your fireworks.
I guess hence the abundance of rotting food.
So you're Steve and Samantha staying, for the week, and you open the fridge and he's got Post-it notes on the fireworks that say "Mr. Dice, do not touch." Did you eat my rotted cabbage? Did you eat my rotted cabbage? Had my Post-it note on it.
2 days later, Mr. Dice had scavenged the neighborhood cast-offs and rebuilt most of the setup. So, like you said, he's just walking around picking up people's trash.
Yeah, well, I mean, think about it. Like, LA's probably got some really nice neighborhoods. You walk around there, like
Beverly Hills. You got Malibu. Well, Malibu's kind of far, but
well, I mean, like I said, what's he gonna do? You got $25 a week. Get yourself a bus ticket and go over there. Maybe you hire somebody to help you haul it back over.
Right? He's got some scratch. They got this guy paying him in rent.
I mean, this is the legit saying of, one man's trash is one man's treasure.
This is the embodiment of that saying.
And you talk about minimalism, like this dude's not even buying any of this stuff. I
Right?
wonder what he does with the cash. Like he's getting all this money from Airbnb in it.
I use it to buy more fireworks for the fridge.
4th of July is just around the corner. He always puts on a great show.
With the hot dogs. These smell funny. Well, they're slightly rotten, but check out this Roman candle, huh?
I think that's an old vibrator. Oh, I wonder why it smelled funny.
I thought it was the hot dogs.
Do hot dogs really go bad, though?
I mean, if they do, can you tell?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so.
I think it depends. No, okay, we mock the hot dog, but there are legit hot dogs. There's you get like all beef hot dogs or stuff like that. Like it's not all, lips and toenails
and chicken butts. Yeah, I know a lot of people talk down, even if they are lips and chicken butts. I don't care because people talk down about hot dogs, but you know what? You throw a hot dog on the grill or in a skillet with some onions, a little green pepper action, a little spicy mustard on a bun. That is living.
Yeah,
love me a good hot dog.
That's good. I like chili dogs. I'm big on chili dogs.
Yeah, chili dogs good. I can't boil the hot dogs though. I hate when people boil them.
I do. I'll boil them if I just need them done quick.
I would just rather nuke them. If you're gonna do that, just throw them in the microwave and nuke them.
That sounds terrible to me.
It's a lot better than boiling them because boiling them they turn that gray.
I have this stigma about I have this stigma with microwaves. I'm not big on microwaves. I don't actually own a microwave.
Oh, really?
Do not own a microwave.
So do you guys do popcorn or anything like that much where you need a microwave or?
You can buy popcorn and just warm it up in a pot.
Yeah, I know. I was just curious if that's how you did it.
Yeah, I just buy the kernels and then get a pot with a good heavy base, pour some oil in there, let it get hot, pour in your popcorn, put the lid on, and just kind of shake it over the burner until it starts to pop.
Yeah,
I'm done.
Well, I know they also sell like the little Scream movie style ones where you can put them on a stove.
Oh yeah.
And they go.
Oh,
pop,
I know.
Pop, pop, pop,
where
and they bubble up.
Yeah, and they blow up like a big balloon. Yeah. I'm always afraid it'll explode.
Yeah, well then they usually do explode, and then Ghostface is outside with your ex-boyfriend, stabbing him to death, and he's asking you what your favorite scary movie is, and you can't remember because your popcorn's cooking and your ex-boyfriend just got gutted. And the bad thing is, since he's got gutted and he's out front, like all that blood's on the porch that's like running into the pool. And I don't know if you've ever tried to clean a pool that had blood in it, Richard. It's impossible. It gets caught in the filter.
Never had that problem. Gets caught in the filter. I could see that.
Yeah,
I can totally see.
It's expensive. I mean, when your parents come home, they find out, they're mad.
Yeah.
So it's, oh man, if I could tell you the stories of high school, Richard, I would start with that one.
Yeah. I think you're confusing yourself with Drew Barrymore.
Ah, that might be it.
Yeah.
Because there's also this one time in high school where I was never kissed. So, like,
What about that one time you went on 50 first dates because you had memory loss?
Yeah, I can never remember them, though. That's okay. So there's a good point going off on a weird tangent. 50 First Dates is a weird movie when you think about it.
Because every morning she wakes up and especially at the end, because at the end, like she wakes up and she's on that. Well, I mean, okay. I don't know, spoilers.
Spoilers. A terrible Adam Sandler movie.
I guess. Spoilers on 50 First Dates. At the end of the movie, she wakes up. She's on a boat in the middle of fucking Alaska. She has a kid.
Yeah. Well, imagine the 9 months before that.
Yeah, there's got to be like exactly. Yeah, you wake up fucking pregnant.
Yeah.
Tell me that's not like an Outer Limits episode.
You roll over, there's just a videotape that says "Play Me" on it. Put it in. You see all this stuff. You
like
freak out.
Did they take a kidney? Did they take a kidney and put a baby in instead?
You freak out, jump off the boat, and try. I'm like, how many times do you think Adam Sandler had to swim after her and bring her back to the boat?
No, you raped me.
Imagine that's probably the days where the videotape didn't play or he forgot to rewind it. He puts it in, it's just credits. It just says, "Come up and see me when you're ready." She's like, "Oh God," grabs a knife. He's like, "Oh, hey, babe, stab, stab, stab." Oh shit, that's my husband.
Oh, I forgot to rewind the tape, didn't I? Well, I'm gonna go get bandaged up. Say hi to your daughter. 2 days later, Mr. Dice had scavenged the neighborhood, cast-offs, and rebuilt most of the setup with flourishes that include ceramic planters with paper orchids, a surfboard, and a hot dog stand.
Oh, like an actual what kind of hot dog stand does it say?
It doesn't say. So I don't know if we're just talking about like something that holds hot dogs or we're talking like an actual like hot dog cart. Like, that's what I'm picturing, because that would be awesome. Be like, now I'm going to keep my hot dogs and fireworks in here.
Well, I was just thinking, like, if it's in a hot dog stand, like, you, like, actually sell hot dogs from, will that make you second guess the next time you come drunk out of a bar? There's some guy on the corner like, "Hot dogs for $1. Hot dogs for $1.
No, I'll tell you what, that man is a goddamn hero. When you walk out of a bar at 2 a.m. or 2 a.m. and there's somebody like, half a block down the street that has a grill set up and is doing hot dogs, that man is a goddamn hero.
If it's a grill setup, like, that seems okay to me. Like, he's throwing them on like a flat top and sizzling them and flipping them around. But if it's a dude that's like reaching in and pulling out like a hot dog from like cold water, putting it on a bun and handing it
when
to
I would
you.
When I would go out some nights, and when I was in San Diego, I'd go out some nights, and shout out to this place. But there was a hot dog stand. It was run by, I want to say they were husband and wife, but they might have just been like a boyfriend girlfriend team. But they had a grill set up. It was called the Wobbly Wiener.
That's an awesome name.
And they'd sit out there. It was in Pacific Beach. They'd sit out there until like 2, 3 a.m. making hot dogs, and oh my God, these are the greatest hot dogs you've ever had in your life. So they had this big flat top. So they'd cut the hot dogs in half and put the hot dog on. Then they'd toast the bun on there. Then they'd throw in onions and peppers. Okay, so then they take the bun, they smear the inside with fucking cream cheese. So then then they put the hot dog in there, and then they put the onions and the pepper. Oh my God, it was the greatest thing that you have ever eaten.
That doesn't sound
manna
bad.
from heaven.
So was this a stationary stand or was it one that moved?
I think it was a stationary stand.
Okay. Like, that seems different to me than the dude that just has like the hot dog cart.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Because I know there's one that was around here for a while, and the dude was always a big jerk. Like, he's like, "You can't touch my wiener." That's what he'd say.
He did not.
Well, I was drunk, and I was like, "I want a hot dog. Can't touch my wiener."
Sean, that man didn't have a hot dog stand at all. He was just standing outside eating a hot dog. He just walked up, "I want a hot dog."
The police report said,
"That's my genital, son."
And that's the 4th time I ended up in prison.
I just walked outside and there was a guy selling hot dogs. Turns out it was just somebody taking a piss.
I miss college.
He said, so Mr. Dice said, in quotes, I refuse to let the city beat me down to what they think a homeless person's profile is, living on cardboard.
Yeah, he's like, that's a stigma I don't believe in. That actually hurts my feelings. It offends me when people talk about that.
Yeah. He said, and then he says, this should be a landmark.
Mr. Dice's magical emporium. Well, all your dreams come true.
Mr. Dice's hot dog and fireworks emporium.
Well, if he ever gets a lawyer that stays there for some reason, like Saul's on going on bad times, stays there, he could talk him into suing the city. It's like, you talking like I should only live on cardboard because I'm homeless. Like, that offends me. I'm going to sue the city. We're going to call this Mr. Dice International Highway or Mr. Dice Freeway.
Yeah. And I'm going to sell my hot dogs and Roman candles by the side of the road.
Cars drive by. Pew! What a hot dog.
They list his age. He says he's 59 years old.
What's the life expectancy for a homeless person?
I have no idea. But think about that. Okay, 59 years old. This guy's had his house ripped to shreds, ripped and carried away like a fucking tornado hit it, and he's managed to scrape together enough to rebuild it now 3 times. This is the 3rd time now that he's rebuilt as a 59 years old. Like, I imagine, like, think about it. Like, you gotta walk. He's all the walking he's doing. He's carrying all this shit.
If he had a better diet than hot dogs, he might be a pretty good shape guy.
Mr. Dice's standoff with the city comes a year after elected leaders called for a state of emergency to be declared over homelessness, with encampments that stirred political passions still standing in many neighborhoods. So they're saying state of emergency. That's hardcore.
Yeah, it's like we got an epidemic of homeless people going around stealing our trash. No. You take those zebra printed covers to the landfill like God intended.
Yeah. See that, like, nobody's complaining in terms of that. They're like, I don't know. I set stuff out there, and then an hour goes by and it disappears. I don't know shit what happens to it. I don't want this tube TV anymore. I'll just set it out on the sidewalk. 3 hours go by. Hey, the tube TV's gone. I guess the homeless trash man must have taken it.
Mr. Dice has it in his magical emporium. He's like, man, I watch this TV all day, and guess what? I'm on every channel. I think that's your reflection, Mr. Dice. Don't tell me my business, Sam.
But if they're calling for a state of emergency, like doesn't that implicate that, like, they want to send in, say, like, the National Guard? If they're saying state of emergency, I mean, I hear state of emergency, I think, like, tornado disasters and stuff like that, where, like, it when you declare a state of emergency, that usually what comes with that is some form of, like, government presence.
Yeah, I imagine it's probably just a formality to get like funds allocated to some specific cause. Like, it's a state of emergency because of a flood. Okay, well, here's our state of emergency funds. Let's move it over to that.
Yeah.
So the governor's probably like, man, I really want to redo the walls in the governor's mansion. Well, we don't have enough of funds for that this year, sir. Damn it.
State of emergency.
State of emergency. Homeless people. I'm going to make my home better.
Homelessness plans released in February by the city and county spurred voter approval this month of a $1.2 billion bond issue to fund new homeless housing. So the voters voted on a $1.2 billion bond to fund new homeless housing. But the construction will take 10 years, and housing homeless people in the meantime is moving slowly. So they're saying, so they voted on this issue, and they're like, it's going to take us 10 years to build. So they send this thing. They're like, "Oh, we need to solve homelessness in the city, and we have a $1.2 billion bond issue."
Mr. Dice is like, no worries. You can have one person stay with me for $25 a week.
Yeah, in a way, it sounds like the better deal. Like, what do you want? A $1.2 billion bond, which is more taxes in your pocket. I got a better idea. $25 a week. I got a tent for you right next to my guest room.
You know, and if he's just got like a little bit of house there, like, you know, what's better for the taxpayers? I mean, he's probably not hurting anybody living there.
No, he's probably just hanging out.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, he's homeless. So, like, he's hanging out. He's got steady income. $25 a week. I mean, no, you can't totally, you know, you can't. I mean, that's hard to stretch in terms of food for one person for a whole week. But
I mean, you hit up McDonald's a couple times. I mean, you'd probably be okay.
Yeah, but I mean, think about that. 3 meals a day for 7 days.
Well, I mean, you probably couldn't do full, like, well, I mean, yeah. Maybe, I mean, I'm not going to say I could stretch $25 a day, but, I mean.
No, it's $25 a week.
Yeah, a week, sorry. And he knows he probably doesn't have full occupancy.
Right. Now accepting more tenants in his Airbnb.
The guest room is now another room. All right, you'll be in room 1 and you'll be in room 27.
Yeah, you're in room 1 and you'll be in tent number 5.
You have 5 tents? No, I just can't count. That's the number I found. So it's 1 and 5.
It's the number I found in Gary's trash. So we're calling it tent number 5. Sanitation crews receive 100 to 200 reports of encampments a week, and the numbers keep growing. 1 to 200 reports every single week of encampments.
So just people setting up shop, like setting up a little house.
Paradise lanes as far as the eye can see.
You know what's funny is, like, people do this in cities and they're called homeless. You do this out in the woods and you're camping.
You do this out in the woods and you're militia. You're a survivalist.
Or a hipster.
You do this. You do it under an overpass. You're a homeless person.
I wonder what his rug mat looked like. Home is where the cars pass overhead.
Instead of a doorbell, it's just another homeless guy standing there that goes, "Bing pong."
I give him $1 a week.
He was saying it anyway, so I just figured, hey, this guy's got to eat. Bing bong.
Not yet. Nobody pressed the button.
Bing bong.
It's maybe it's somebody who just says Hodor.
Oh, you just made my wife sad.
I know, because this homeless guy didn't have a door.
Our main priority always is to get unsheltered homeless individuals off the streets and into housing, said Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority spokeswoman Tom Waldman. You know, I actually heard about this. They have a program in LA where for homeless people where they're just they're setting them up with homes. Like, they're just giving them homes.
How well is that working?
Apparently very well, because they said, you know, when it comes to things like substance abuse or substance abuse counseling, you know, like the things that you would expect a homeless agency to provide, things like job training and homeless counseling and stuff like that. They said it really doesn't solve the fundamental problem, and the fundamental problem is they're fucking homeless. So, like, they go to apply for a job, and, like, okay, so Mr. Dice goes in to apply for a job, and he's like, I live on 5 Paradise Lane.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not seeing that in the address book. Oh, it's under the overpass. It's under the 110.
That's great, but I can't get past the smell of the fact that you smell like 10-week-old garbage.
Right. So they said that if you like actually like set them up with a house and give them a home, then it gives them the leg up to get, you know, stable work, and then once they get stable work, then it gives them the ability to, you know, be in a clean environment to help them go to substance abuse counseling and stuff like that.
That makes sense. I'm
They
like,
said that if you give them a house, then it provides the base for all the other services that are usually available.
yeah, I mean that makes sense. I mean, you think about that point, like that's got to be like the lowest point you could be, without a home, without any kind of like stable living. To get past, like to get out of that rut seems like it'd be really, really difficult.
I would imagine.
And especially like if you're looking at some of those, people that are out there that probably have families or people that they're trying to just keep alive.
Yeah.
I don't know if you do this, but sometimes I always kind of like whenever I'm in a city or town, I try to imagine places I would go if I was homeless. Like I'll like walk in a place and there'll be like a nice little cubby where like during the winter it'd keep me out of the elements and might be a little warm. I always like try to put that in my mind. It's like, okay, if I'm ever homeless, this might be a good spot to hang out.
See, I would just go with the seasons. So
You'd migrate like a bird.
I'd migrate like a bird. You know how I'd migrate? I'd ride the rails. That's how I'd do it.
That would be awesome.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Do you think that is there still a lot of that? What do they call that when you?
Oh yeah.
What's that called when you ride the rails like that? That's not what a hobo is, right?
No, I think that is what a hobo is.
Okay.
Or wait. Yeah, I think that's what a hobo is. I think a hobo rides the rails because there's hobos and then there's tramps. And I'm not sure what tramps do.
they do the hobos.
No, seriously, there's an AMA on Reddit that I read from like years ago, and it was somebody that like that's what they did. They like rode the rails, but he was able, he's able to get enough money like panhandling and shit like that and doing like odd jobs. Like he was able to afford, having a regular phone, like a cell phone that's turned on, and he has a monthly bill that he pays and shit like that.
Oh wow.
And he did I think he did like 1 or 2 AMAs over the course of like 2 years.
Well, so I've heard of some people that do stuff like that kind of live that hipster hobo life, but their family's wealthy enough that they kind of like that's how they kind of get their money. So I always kind of wonder when people like have like something you wouldn't think like a phone, like maybe they're not completely in that lifestyle, if that makes sense.
No, I see what you're saying. Like they're there, but they're there in kind of a meta way.
Yeah.
Like I'm here for the thrills.
Yeah.
And then these other guys are like, I just want food.
Yeah, exactly. Because I always think like whenever people do stuff like that, it's if like so let's say it's that person, their family's kind of giving them money to do this, so they're not really like in a big risk. Like it's not. They know at any moment they'd be like, okay, well I need to go back home and my family will take care of me. Then I can get back on my feet.
Right.
Whereas there's people like you said who are like, oh my god, I'm doing this because I'm hungry. I'm trying to get to this Airbnb in LA with a Mr. Dice.
He said for $25 a week, I get decent shelter under an overpass on Paradise Lane.
Said he's hiring a cleaning lady. I think I can do that. I just have to empty the Folgers can. I don't mind the smell of coffee.
It's just a legend that spreads across America. The legend of Paradise Lane.
Oh, that's where all your dreams come true. It's near the Coliseum.
Go west, young man. Go west. West to Paradise Lane. Manifest destiny.
If you were a single man, do you think you could be a homeless guy? Like, do you think you could live that lifestyle?
I think that if it became necessary for me to live that lifestyle, then yeah. Like I think if push came to shove about it, yeah. I really think that I could do what I need to do. But, there would be a period of adjustment, but I would
definitely
survive. Definitely be a period of adjustment, but I think I could manage. I think I could pull it off.
I guess I was just gonna ask, and it's probably kind of an ignorant question, be like, what's the thing you think you could like would be the hardest to adjust to? Like, I think my go-to would have been like the internet, but realistically, it's probably the fact that you're not eating regularly.
Well, see, like the meals thing, like depending on panhandling and shit like that, like I'm sure you could scrape up enough for like a meal or two a day.
Yeah, maybe.
I think that's well within reason. And that's about what I eat now. Like today, the extent of my food today was I ate a salad, an orange, and some pita chips.
A hot dog.
No, it didn't eat a hot dog. You're hungry for a hot dog now. They're like on your mind.
Now I am, yeah. There's like twice a year I get hungry for hot dogs, and I'll go out and we'll buy a package and just plow through them. I was like, we should do this all the time.
Next day, no.
Yeah. Oh, that was a bad choice. There's still some in the fridge.
Tommy says, nope. Mayor Eric Garrett's spokeswoman, Connie Llanos, said, we know that some of these strategies will solve our homelessness, we know that none of these strategies will solve our homelessness crisis overnight, but Mayor Garcetti is committed to ensuring that the crisis is solved as quickly as possible. And by that, we mean 10 years.
We're saying that we hired a great construction company. Don't worry that he's related. It's not a big deal. Like he was the best choice. I know his bid came in like 30 times more than the next person, but it's going to be better.
Stern said Mr. Dice refused homeless services, including temporary housing. Well, of course he is. He's got fucking digs.
Here, bing bong. Who is it? Homeless services. Nobody's home.
I'm fine. Bing bong. No, I didn't push you again. I didn't even push you the first time. Bing bong.
Don't make Bing Bong angry. You won't like him when he's angry. Bing bong.
Bing bong. Bing bong. Mr. Dice declined to speak to City Councilman Curran D. Price Jr. when he visited homeless camps under freeway bridges in his South Los Angeles district.
Passing out vote for me cards.
Yeah, that's another thing. Do you think since he's under an overpass, he probably doesn't have to deal with like Jehovah's Witnesses?
No, probably not.
Doesn't have to deal with Mormons showing up.
He just has to deal with like rats taking his rotted cabbage and his last bits of hot dog buns.
Yeah, snakes and sparklers.
Yeah, I always wonder in that what the not the lifestyle, but the the day-to-day life kind of thing. Like there's got to be some kind of homeless etiquette. Like I wonder what that's like. Like this dude has a home, right? No door, no security. What does it take that somebody else just doesn't come in and take it over?
Yeah, that's a good point. Or just comes in and just like takes all your shit.
He walks in and Bing Bong's not at the front door. Like, where the hell's Bing Bong? Walks in like, Bing Bong. Bing Bong's now. Bing Bong's no more.
Or he's walking back to his place and Bing Bong's standing in front of somebody's cardboard box. Like, I stole your Bing Bong.
Bing Bong, no. And Bing Bong just cries, one tear.
Bing Bong's sad.
Bing Bong won a Bing Bong for Mr. Dice.
Bing Bong won paradise, Bing Bong. There's been a great deal of public safety and public health concern from neighbors in the area. What neighbors? He's under the overpass. Is it other homeless people? Be like, I'm concerned for my safety and health, honestly. Like,
This neighborhood used to be a neighborhood of tents. Just tents.
There's tents and cardboard boxes.
And then this asshole comes in all uppity and builds himself a freeway pass house.
Fuck you, Dice! Bing Bong. And your doorbell. You know he's crazy. Bing Bong. What I meant was, there's been a great deal of public health concern neighbors in the area, as well as LAPD and the sanitation department, said the spokeswoman for the council, for the councilman Curran D. Price Jr. Everybody's hating on Dice.
I wonder, yeah.
Why everybody gotta be throwing shade on Dice?
It's probably a thing they just don't want to become contagious. Like they don't want, like all the other homeless people. Like, you know what? There's a lot of freeway passes that I could set up shop in. I get my own Bing Bong, get my own Airbnb set up,
and then here comes what do they call it? Like asphalt acres.
That's what the A stands for at Airbnb.
They said they have their own little subdivision, and everybody's got their houses. I'm in the cul-de-sac.
Look at this view.
Mr. Dice insists that he does want housing, noting that a car recently careened off the freeway, pinning a homeless woman in her bedding, and 2 men with a pistol tried to rob him in his bed.
Oh, that's what I was just talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, right? Stole his doorbell. This is not going to be the end of my life, he said. Mr. Dice said he first became homeless at age 14 in Memphis, Tennessee, where police nicknamed him Dice because he didn't run when they busted craps games. So there you go. Little history for you.
Nice. Like, we got you, Dice, dumbass. Should have ran like the others.
Yeah. We could have called you Shoes.
Going back to him getting robbed, like you think the next morning after they steal all of his hot dogs and his fireworks, he's like, man, like why didn't my Bing Bong security system work? He walks out there and Bing Bong has duct tape over his mouth. He's like, oh, they cut the line, sneaky bastards. Wing wong.
I know, Bing Bong. I know.
All right, like a Band-Aid, got to do this quick. Bing Bong.
You remember. He's the 7th of 8 children of an alcoholic mother. His sisters tried to turn him into a Cinderella to clean up their messes, he said.
Oh, we spilt the milk. You clean it up, Bing Bong.
Oh, cue sad Hulk music, man.
Do you think there's like a good like homeless story? Like they always seem tragic like that. Like, you know,
of course it's all tragic. It ends with them not having a home and they're sleeping under an overpass.
Well, we were just trying to romanticize it earlier.
Like, what homeless guy is like just telling his life story and ends it with, and then I lived happily ever after?
I don't know. There's a Will Smith movie where that happened.
What, The Pursuit of Happiness?
Yeah. Maybe that's what Dice's problem is. He needs a Rubik's Cube.
No, he eventually like made like the story ends with him getting the job, making fuck tons of money.
Yeah, like it had a sad beginning. Well, he started out fine, lost his home, but got it back. So it wasn't a sad story.
Yeah, but he wasn't homeless at the end of it.
Well, I know Dice's story hasn't ended yet. Like I said, we got to get him a Rubik's Cube. That's when things started going up for Will Smith.
What's the story end when he's dead?
West Philadelphia, born and raised.
No,
till I got my Rubik's Cube all on my face.
It's you're mashing things.
Oh.
That's when the vampire showed up and killed his dog.
And then aliens attacked.
Welcome to Earth. And then Sylvester Dice sitting there and he's like, and then I said, welcome to Earth. And I punched him in the face. I'm like, no, that's not you. That's Will Smith.
Happy 4th of July.
He sang soul covers in a bar band. He's got soul and he's super bad.
You shut your mouth.
Just
talking about Dice, baby.
Dice, baby.
It's not the same.
Oh, right. It was close. He sang soul covers in a bar band before arriving in Los Angeles in 1983, where he did a brief turn as a clothing salesman before deciding he could not work for others. So yeah, 83. So he's been there for 23 years.
I feel like that's a cop-out. Like he goes in his first day and his boss is like, okay, so Mr. Johnson. No, I like to go by Dice. Okay, I'll call you Dice. I don't like your tone. Like it's okay, Dice. It's no big deal, you know.
We're sorry.
It's your first day. What I'd like for you to do is take the clothes from this box and put them over there on the counter so we can kind of sort through them. Bullshit. I cannot work for other people. Like I'm an independent flower. I'm done. I'm done.
I'm a snowflake. My alcoholic mother used to tell me before she hit me with a bottle that was broken. He moved between the streets and pay by the week hotels.
That's where he got the idea. You know, this pay by the week hotel idea is a great idea.
Yeah, it's totally an easy way to make money. If only I had a place that I could do that.
And that's when he got thrown out of a car.
Under the overpass, and he looks up and he's like, oh, this is where I shall build my Xanadu.
When life hands you freeway underpasses, you build a home.
And so he gets thrown out of a car, and then he just looks up, and there's just a guy sitting under the overpass, and he's like, "Do you mind if I sleep here?" Bing bong. Is that all you can say? Bing bong. Yeah, you're kind of like a doorbell, aren't you? Bing bong.
You want to get high, Bing Bong? Bing Bong.
He moved between the streets and pay by the week hotels, depending on the success of various hustles and sales jobs, including briefly drug sales. Yeah, of course. I mean, I don't know how any of this is considered news. For 10 years, he lived inside with a girlfriend, but when she died, he lost half his income, landed back on Skid Row, and 6 months ago arrived at the underpass. So this guy had the happily ever after, and then it all went to shit. So there you go, Sean. Like, you want to talk? Okay, like this guy. If you would talk to this guy 6 months ago, he'd been like, "Hey, everything's going good. I got a place. I got a lady who loves me, and it can only go up from here." 6 months later,
he's sitting with a Bing Bong doorbell.
Yeah.
And no wife.
Fridge full of Roman candles. Fridge full of snakes and sparklers.
And a hot dog crate full of half-eaten hot dogs.
His internet fame has been rejuvenating, Mr. Dice said, as well as his newfound talent for interior decoration.
That sounds like it.
I enjoy the hype like anybody else, he says. On Saturday, he pulled up on his beach cruiser, towing a shopping cart that bore a bathtub he rescued from a junk heap.
Nice.
This is my jacuzzi, he said. Nice guy, jacuzzi.
He's like, have you ever soaked in hot dog flavored water? I had it on an album once. I heard it was amazing.
Bing Bong, your new name is Bubble Blower. Bing Bong?
Come here. Bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong.
A Mercedes, BMWs, and a Lexus pulled up in front of his camp for pre-Thanksgiving handouts of tamales and home-cooked turkey dinners. These grassroots feeding operations, often run by churches, have been another sore spot for city and homeless service officials who say they generate trash and make it easy for people to remain homeless. Okay, that sentence right there kind of pisses me off because, number one, they're like, oh, they're, making it easy for people to remain homeless. Do homeless people want to be homeless?
I mean, I'm sure. I mean, some of it might be. I mean, I would imagine everybody does, though.
If you interview 10 random homeless people, do you think they're all a majority of them are going to be like, no, I really like it. It's, it's a good way to get out, have the constant fresh air.
Maybe one of the 10 would be like, meh, it sucks, but it's better than the real world.
Or, yeah, and those, who says that? Bing Bong says that.
Bing Bong would say that. He's already got a good gig, though. And he's technically not homeless.
Okay, but I'm saying, if you offered these people, if you're like, hey, if you come with me, if you get in this car, I'll give you a 1-bedroom house. Do you think, somebody's going to be like, no, I'm good. I think even Mr. Dice would be like, I did just get this jacuzzi.
Bing Bong's pretty good.
I'll opt for, the electric and, heat. Okay, so that's beef number one. Beef number two is they're just giving them food. Your plan apparently is 10 years in the making.
Yeah.
In the meantime, they just want some fucking food.
It's probably only during holidays too.
Yeah, you're giving these richy people shit just because they're feeding homeless people? So what? They're just giving them food. Calm the fuck down.
Well, it's probably their entertainment. Imagine, oh, Buffy, let's get the turkey and we'll drive and feed it to the homeless. We'll have them come up to the window. Oh, look, Buffy, there's Bing Bong, your favorite.
It makes these fuckers feel good. It gives somebody that didn't have a meal. Why not?
Yeah, it's probably, like I was trying to say earlier too, it's twice a year they probably do this, so.
Uh, some neighbors say people are hiding in tents to deal drugs or run prostitution rings.
Oh.
We can only hope. Rose Sanders, who came to distribute free shoes, said she was homeless until 2014, and the people are truly needy. People here are really homeless. It's not an easy transition. What does that mean? They're really homeless. Like, can you just be a little homeless?
I know a lot of panhandlers are like, sometimes they're not real panhandlers. Like they actually have like homes and stuff like that, and they just do that for free money, basically.
Oh, you're going to love this. You ready? You ready? The next day, as Rams fans streamed into the Coliseum, the Dice Dog Stand opened for business.
Oh, yeah. DD's Dogs.
Here we go. Dice Dogs, Dice Dogs. What you gonna do when the dog bites you? Mr. Dice, wearing a white fedora, a chef's jacket, and cellophane gloves, sang out as he sliced peppers and onions onto hot links sizzling on a propane stove. Okay, so you were just talking about, like, you know, oh, I don't know about hot dog cart guy. Like, I'll opt for a guy that has a grill. Mr. Dice right here has a grill, and he's doing hot dogs on it. You gonna eat? Are you gonna have a Dice dog?
I mean, I'd probably feel more comfortable if I was drinking, but yeah. I mean, you see where the facility is, and he's like, "Oh, I got to go back to the fridge to get the other hot dogs."
Hopefully, the cops haven't carted off with it yet.
Ding dong, go get more hot dogs. Bing bong.
Jose Padilla, 28 of Colton, and Juan Villa, 23 of Riverside, lounged on sofas with oversized beers, praising Mr. Dice's pricing of $2.50 a dog.
That's a pretty good deal. That's probably good for LA prices.
One of them says, full of movie theater, one little wiener link costs $6.
What'd your San Diego dogs cost?
Oh, fuck, I don't remember. I was drunk. I was just like, where? Well, they had a tip jar, so I'm just like, there, money.
This is the best hot dog ever. It reminds me of my friend Sean. I miss his cream cheese.
No, for the record, a hot dog does not remind me of my friend Sean, nor will it ever.
A little smoked weenie, though, that's different.
Neighbors from nearby homes came by for a smoke or to arrange to barbecue later with Mr. Dice. A few parents pulled their children close, but other passerby yelled encouragement. It's a whole house. One child's like, okay, so this guy is offering, hey, I've got hot dogs for $2.50. And also, you can come in and chill out on the couch in my living room and just hang out. So not only do you get a hot dog, you also get like a place to fucking eat it.
Nice.
in his place. He says, I still don't get it. What's so fascinating about this place? Mr. Dice said, I decided I want to live like everybody else. Make me something nice that I wanted to come home to. If I was in the Arctic, I'd make me an igloo, he says.
So he's self-sufficient.
He's totally self-sufficient. And he seems fairly content. I mean, like I said, you know, I think if somebody pulled up and was like, "Hey, I'll give you a 1-bedroom house like here," like I think he would be like, "Yeah, okay, I'll take the 1-bedroom." He'd probably be slinging hot dogs out in the front yard of it, but
Yeah,
you know,
it's not a bad
whatever.
deal, though. I mean, he's just kind of a hermit. He just wants to be left alone. He wants to have his, house under the underpass. Or I bet he's the kind of guy like you set him up with a tent in the middle of the woods. He'd probably
A
be fine.
house he built with his own 2 fucking hands.
You know what they used to call those people back in the day, Richard?
Pioneers.
Pioneers. Yeah, that's right.
Pioneers. And that's what Mr. Dice says to us. So you know what, Mr. Dice? From Sean and I at the Language of Bromance, we salute you. We salute you at the Language of Bromance.
Well, Richard, I guess as we're saluting Mr. Dice, do you have any Richard's closing thoughts?
You know what? I think that this speaks high. Let's take a second to discuss the homeless problem in America. Like, yes, there's homeless people, but you know what? I've actually driven across this great nation, and I'll tell you what, there is a whole lot of land out there, and I've seen a whole lot of rundown houses. we live in a society of overabundance, and to think that that some people are going hungry in the richest nation in the world is kind of shitty. So I think we should do something about it.
Go to the www.patreon.com/languageofbromance and feed the hungry.
You want to stop people from going hungry? Let's talk about Let's talk about podcasters. Subscribe to Patreon, or I'm going to be slinging hot dogs out of my front yard.
All right, well, I'll do a little bit of housekeeping while we still have our houses. Go to our website. We're at languageofbromance.com. Follow us on Twitter. We're at languageofbro. Email us at eatthebeaver@languageofbromance.com. Check out the LOB Army Intelligence Reports. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe and leave a review on Google Play Music, iTunes, and Stitcher.
And don't forget to check us out on the Pod Bros Network.
The Underpass Podcast Site Network.
No. Think of something different.
The podcast site network that is under the underpass.
No, you're fucking this up. The podcast network, the podcast network that also doesn't want to go hungry.
And like we said just a little bit earlier, if you wanted to throw a little tip money in our jar, go to our Patreon accounts, www.patreon.com/languageofbromance.
Maybe we could send people packages of hot dogs.
I'd be up for that. That could be a level. LOB Army Dogs. Oh.
Lob dogs.
Yeah.
Have a lob dog.
All right. Well, is there anything before I close her out?
No, we have to go plan out lob dogs. New business. Fuck the podcast. We're slinging hot dogs now.
All right. Well, that's all the bromance we have for this show. I'm Sean.
And I'm Richard.
And I say we bing bong eat the beaver. Bing bong.
Eat the beaver. Bing bong.
Eat the hot dog. Bing bong.
You just made it grody.